Hey everyone, Georgie here with Ukraine Matters. There's a lot of things to cover today, so no intro, let's just go. Now, the most notable thing about the Kursk area, where Ukrainians are continuing their advances despite the fact that the slower down of the tempo, we're obviously are waiting right now on the resolution of the situation of Russian cauldron, the pocket that Russians find themselves in, locked within the river. But otherwise, the most notable thing that everyone is looking at is what's going to happen at the village of Korenevo. This is this area over here. And the confusion around this area, because it was reported many times that it was already fight for, there was already videos of Ukrainians inside the village, and there was a lot of misunderstanding. Why is that? Well, you know that situation when, for example, in Ukraine and also in Russia, there are villages that are sharing the same name, and then people would talk about the village, but actually it was something happening in a completely separate village. Well, it's kind of the same area of confusion, except it's worse. So Korenevo is actually not one village or town in this case, it's actually two. So I know there is a river that goes through the village, and normally that would be just, well, river. In this situation, there is a village of Korenevo, and then there is the town of Korenevo. So the village of Korenevo was where Ukrainians been confirmed controlling and capturing it, and this is what was confirmed for a while ago. Whereas the town of Korenevo, this is where the reports of Ukrainian forces still advancing and fighting for it. They're sharing exactly the same name, except no one specifies are they talking about the village or the town. So because of this confusion, there is still no clear understanding of what's the situation. But from what I've heard is that Ukrainians have been operating in this area, and there are news, positive news for Ukraine. I don't have more information, so at this point it's completely gray area, and we don't really know whether or not Ukrainians have really captured it. What we do know is that Russians actually already issued evacuation orders from this town of Rylsk for Russians to get out, which is not really an indicator of anything, but it's definitely good to know. All in all, the Ukrainians have been pretty much stating what I was stating about the Kursk area. Dmitry from War Translated on Shitter has translated this message over here, and basically the Ukrainian armed forces, they are confirming that indeed the situation